Clark Show, baby. Tell them why you mad, son. Tell them why you mad. That is why y'all mad. That type of performance that you can't have duplicated by anybody else. A magic show. That's the difference. Caitlin Clark puts on a magic show while she's playing a game of basketball. The Indiana Fever hold on to beat the Seattle Storm by 10, 105-95. Talk about a game from the Indiana Fever backcourt. They absolutely did what.
Listen to the noise. Just listen to it for a second. If you pay attention to the media narratives, the post-game press conferences, and the endless social media debates, you would think the WNBA is entirely about off-court drama. We have people running around talking about race every single day. We have players preaching about this supposedly unbreakable, sacred sisterhood that seems to magically disappear the second a rookie steps on the floor. We have veterans competing in the Victim Olympics, crying for foul calls, complaining about chartered flights, and demanding a level of respect that they simply haven't earned on the television screen. We have players using the All-Star break to outdrink each other, hit the clubs, and stumble into their fan meet and greets 40 minutes late. The league has been swallowed whole by soap opera storylines. But while everyone else is absolutely losing their minds over the theatrics and the politics, there is one player who simply does not care. One player who tunes out the toxic noise, laces up her sneakers, and completely obliterates the competition night after night. While the rest of the league is complaining, Caitlin Clark is continuing to bust ass, take names, and rewrite the fundamental history of the sport. Welcome to the second half of the WNBA season, ladies and gentlemen, where the undisputed Rookie of the Year is officially putting the entire league on notice. This isn't just about winning an award anymore. The Caitlin Clark MVP run has officially been activated.
What they had to do, but we got to get to this first. Caitlin Clark breaks another record. I mean, it's like the girl breaks a record every 5 minutes, for Christ's sakes. Take a look at this here. Caitlin Clark is the fastest player in WNBA history to reach 500 points and 150 assists in a season. The fastest to ever do it. The best that ever did it and got away with it. The Clark Show, baby. She put on a show today versus the Seattle.
If you want to know why the haters are so incredibly furious, if you want to know why the veterans are so incredibly bitter, look no further than what just happened between the Indiana Fever and the Seattle Storm. What we witnessed wasn't just a basketball game. It was a complete and utter masterclass. It was the type of jaw-dropping, spellbinding athletic performance that cannot be duplicated, replicated, or even simulated by anyone else walking the face of the earth right now. The Indiana Fever managed to survive and beat the Seattle Storm by a final score of 105-95 in a thrilling shootout. But the final score only tells a fraction of the story. The real story is the absolute dominance put on by a 22-year-old rookie who is currently playing the game of basketball at a level of pure genius that we haven't seen in decades. Let's not bury the lead here. Before we even break down the tactical brilliance of this matchup, we have to talk about the history that was just made. Because it feels like every 5 minutes, this girl is breaking another record, and she just shattered one of the most impressive milestones in the history of the league. As of this game, Caitlin Clark is officially the fastest player in the history of the WNBA to reach 500 points and 150 assists in a single season. Let that sink in. The absolute fastest to ever do it, period. We are talking about 28 years of WNBA history. We are talking about legends of the game, Hall of Famers, Olympic gold medalists, and seasoned point guards who spent their entire careers trying to perfect the delicate balance between scoring and facilitating. And Caitlin Clark just blew past all of them in her very first year. She is the best that ever did it, and she is making it look completely effortless.
Show Caitlin Clark lit them up tonight. They could do nothing with her. Take a look at this. Off the catch to start the game. Bang! Dad! She's pulling up from all over the place. They can't stop her. I mean, she's unstoppable. Assist. She gets guarded. I watched Olivia Miles and some of these other guards. I like how they play. They don't get defended full court.
You can hate her. You can foul her. You can try to full court press her. But the numbers do not lie. And the numbers are screaming that we are watching a generational anomaly unfold right before our eyes. The Clark Show was in full effect against Seattle, and she put up a stat line that looks like it was generated in a video game on rookie mode. 32 points in 33 minutes of floor time, 9 of 14 shooting from the floor, 4 of 7 from beyond the arc, and a surgical, flawless 10 for 10 from the free throw line, 7 assists, 4 rebounds, and a true shooting percentage of 87%. 87%! That level of efficiency for a guard who takes the sheer volume of difficult, contested shots that she does is borderline impossible. As a team, the Fever were locked in, shooting 26 for 26 from the charity stripe, 100% accuracy. But the stats don't tell you how she got those points. From the moment the referee threw the ball up for the opening tip, Caitlin Clark lit the Seattle Storm up like a Christmas tree. They had absolutely zero answers for her. Nothing they tried worked. If they played off her, she pulled up from 30 feet and buried a 3 right in their eye. If they pressed up on her, she used her elite handle to blow right past her defender, getting into the paint and finishing through heavy contact. She was catching and shooting, firing on all cylinders to start the game. Bang. Pulling up from all over the place. The Seattle defense looked completely lost, scrambling to close out, but it was always a split second too late.
Caitlin Clark carried this team through the first 3 quarters. I mean, absolutely carried them. The blonde bomber, bang, from 3. She hit 3 threes in the first quarter. The Indiana Fever are about to go on a championship run. Hopefully Aaliyah Boston is healthy. Indiana Fever about to go on a championship run. Caitlin Clark about to go on an MVP run right now. I'm telling you.
And let's be incredibly clear about something here. She is not getting a friendly whistle. She is not getting the superstar treatment from the referees. When you watch other elite guards in this league, they get the luxury of bringing the ball up the floor in peace. They get to initiate the offense on their own terms. Not Caitlin. She is getting defended 94 feet from the basket. She is getting grabbed, held, bumped, and hand-checked all night long. The Seattle defenders were mauling her. Players should have fouled out in the first quarter just from the sheer physicality they were throwing at her. But the refs swallowed their whistles, barely calling the obvious fouls, effectively telling the rookie to figure it out for herself. And figure it out she did. She didn't complain. She didn't whine to the officials. She just kept attacking the rim, taking the contact, and getting buckets. The blonde bomber was absolutely unbothered, hitting 3 massive three-pointers in the first quarter alone to set the tone for the entire night. But the real magic, however, the defining moment of this game that truly cemented her MVP status, happened in the third quarter. The Indiana Fever were facing a massive crisis. Their foundational post presence, Aaliyah Boston, went down with an injury after playing just 10 minutes and 11 points. The arena held its collective breath. You could feel the momentum starting to shift. The Seattle Storm, sensing blood in the water, started making a ferocious run. The defensive intensity ramped up. The Fever offense started to stagnate, and for a terrifying moment, it looked like the Fever were going to completely collapse. But this is exactly where legends are born. This is where the truly great players separate themselves from the merely good ones.
3, Payal, Baghdad. They can't stop her. She's unstoppable. The best player in the world. The best player in the world. Getting to the mid-range, turnaround, fade away, bucket. She was doing everything. She's doing everything out there. Crossover on Zaya Cook.
With Boston sidelined and the rest of the team struggling to find the bottom of the net, Caitlin Clark literally put the entire Indiana Fever franchise on her back and carried them through the fire. In the third quarter, she scored an unbelievable 16 of the team's 18 total points. Let me repeat that for the people in the back. 16 out of 18 points. Nobody else on the floor in an Indiana Fever jersey made a single field goal during that stretch. While the Storm threw double teams, traps, and everything they had in their defensive playbook at her, Caitlin single-handedly held the team together. It was a masterclass in offensive burden. She was pulling out every single move in her arsenal. The behind-the-back dribble to lose her defender. The snatchback three-pointer that left the defense frozen in place. The devastating crossover leading into a silky smooth mid-range fadeaway. She was getting to her spots with absolute impunity. You simply cannot guard that. You can only pray she misses. She was pulling up from distances that made it look like she was back in Carver Hawkeye Arena, dropping bombs from the logo and completely demoralizing the Seattle bench. She could have easily scored 40 or 50 points on this night. The way she was cooking, there was no defensive scheme in the world that could have stopped her.
In the fourth, did her thing. Look at this move by this pass by Caitlin Clark. Michaela Timpson, I wanted you to dunk that. I wanted you to dunk that, KK. I wanted you to dunk that. Look at this move by Caitlin Clark, though. Got you. They can't stop her, man. Caitlin Clark, the best player in the world. You can argue with yourself about it. We all know the real. This girl can't.
But this is what makes Caitlin Clark the most dangerous player on the planet right now. She is not a selfish, stat-padding superstar. She doesn't just care about her own point total. She is a true, fundamental point guard who understands the flow of the game better than anyone else on the floor. Going into the fourth quarter with 30 points already to her name, she could have easily forced the issue and chased a career high. But she didn't. Why? Because she realized something crucial was happening. Her backcourt partner, Kelsey Mitchell, who had been struggling miserably for 3 straight quarters, suddenly caught fire. Kelsey Mitchell couldn't throw a rock into the ocean for the first 30 minutes of this game. She was stinking it up, missing easy looks, and looking completely out of rhythm. But in the fourth quarter, something snapped. Mitchell transformed into an absolute flamethrower, finishing with 28 points on 9 of 18 shooting and 6 of 6 from the line. And Caitlin Clark, possessing an elite basketball IQ and a completely unselfish mentality, immediately recognized the shift. Instead of demanding the ball and trying to play hero ball, Caitlin seamlessly transitioned from the primary scorer back into the elite facilitator. She started feeding Kelsey over and over again, finding her in transition, setting her up on the perimeter, and letting the hot hand completely take over the game. Kelsey Mitchell exploded for 18 points in the fourth quarter alone. The dynamic between these two was something out of a cinematic script.
Powered this team to victory. Caitlin Clark went off for 16 in the fourth. Kelsey Mitchell went off for 18. Caitlin Clark went off for 16 in the third. Kelsey Mitchell went off for 18 in the fourth. Kelsey Mitchell turned it up. This girl couldn't throw a rock in the ocean for the first 3 quarters. And in the fourth quarter, it just started clicking, and they couldn't stop her. They couldn't stop her. Now, the beautiful thing about Caitlin Clark is she had 30 going into the fourth quarter. She sensed that
Caitlin Clark goes absolutely nuclear in the third quarter to keep the team alive. Kelsey Mitchell erupts in the fourth quarter to slam the door shut. When you have a backcourt that can score the basketball at this level, taking turns completely dominating the defense, they become completely and utterly unstoppable. Now, it wasn't a completely flawless game for the Fever, and if we are calling a spade, we have to talk about the glaring issues that almost cost them the victory. First and foremost, the rebounding was absolutely atrocious. The Indiana Fever gave up a staggering 16 offensive rebounds to the Seattle Storm, 16 extra possessions, 16 second chance opportunities. You cannot give up the glass like that against the elite teams in this league and expect to walk away with a win. The Fever got away with it tonight because the Storm, despite their talent, are still a team trying to figure out how to win consistently. But if Indiana plays like that on the boards against New York, Las Vegas, or Connecticut, they will get blown out of the gym. Secondly, we have to talk about the coaching decisions from Stephanie White. In the middle of the fourth quarter, when the game was still hanging in the balance, White decided to sit Caitlin Clark down for a rest. Now, resting your star is normal, but the duration of that rest was highly questionable. The fans were screaming for her to come back in at the 8-minute mark. Instead, White kept her pinned to the bench until there were nearly 6 minutes left in the game. That is way too long to sit the best player in the world during clutch time. It disrupted the rhythm and gave Seattle a glimmer of hope they never should have had. The coaching staff needs to realize that when Clark is in MVP mode, you ride that wave until the final buzzer sounds. You do not interrupt a masterpiece. Despite the coaching hiccups and the massive rebounding deficit, the Fever proved something incredibly important tonight. They proved they have the resilience, the firepower, and the outright mental toughness to survive the storm and secure a massive victory. They fought back against the pressure. Seattle, to their credit, showed incredible heart. They were down by 17, 18, and even 20 points at one stage of this contest. They clawed their way all the way back into the game, cutting the deficit down to just 2 points in the second half. The tension in the arena was thick enough to cut with a knife. It was an absolute dogfight, but the Fever didn't fold, they didn't panic. They leaned on their generational point guard, and she guided them straight to the finish line. We also have to give a massive shout-out to the opposition. Natisha Hedman was an absolute menace for the Seattle Storm tonight, dropping 33 points, hitting 11 of her 26 shots, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. While the rest of the league was apparently out partying and drinking away their all-star break, Hedman came into this game looking like she was ready for war. She put on an absolute clinic and proved why she is one of the most lethal scorers when she gets in the zone. But even a prime-level performance from Heidemann wasn't enough to overcome the sheer magnitude of the Clark and Mitchell backcourt. This game was a massive statement to the rest of the WNBA. The Indiana Fever are not just a cute story anymore. They are not just a young team trying to figure things out. They are rapidly developing into a legitimate championship contender. If Aaliyah Boston can stay healthy and anchor the paint, and if this backcourt continues to play with this level of unselfish, unstoppable synergy, nobody is going to want to see the Indiana Fever in the playoffs. And as for Caitlin Clark, the conversation needs to change immediately. We need to stop talking about the Rookie of the Year award. That race is over. It has been over for months. It is completely disrespectful to her current level of play to even pretend it's a competition. We need to start having a very serious, very loud conversation about the Most Valuable Player award. Because when you look at the impact she has on winning, the way she elevates her teammates, the historic numbers she is producing on a nightly basis, and the fact that she single-handedly kept her team afloat while scoring 16 out of 18 points in a single quarter, that is the absolute definition of an MVP. What Caitlin Clark is doing is transcending the sport of basketball. She isn't just breaking WNBA records. She is breaking the traditional mold of how women's basketball is consumed in America. Every single arena she walks into is sold out. Every single broadcast she anchors sets a new viewership record. She is the undeniable, undisputed golden goose of the franchise, and yet she plays the game with the hunger of an undrafted free agent fighting for a roster spot. That is what makes her so special. It isn't just the logo threes. It isn't just the flashy behind-the-back passes that go viral on social media. It is the relentless, psychopathic, competitive drive that refuses to accept defeat. When she steps onto the hardwood, she isn't looking to make friends with the opposing team. She isn't looking to join the sisterhood. She is looking to completely dismantle your defense, break your spirit, and take the victory back to Indiana. This 32-point masterclass against the Seattle Storm wasn't just a great game. It was a warning shot to the Las Vegas Aces, the New York Liberty, and the Connecticut Sun. The Fever are coming, and they are being led by a rookie who simply does not know how to fail. So, let the media keep talking. Let the veterans keep complaining. Let the rest of the league keep entirely missing the point. Caitlin Clark is going to keep putting her head down, putting in the work, and putting on a magical show for the millions of fans who tune in specifically to watch her greatness. The MVP campaign is completely undeniable at this point. She is the best player in the world, and she is just getting started.